This turbo was replaced by us 12,000 miles ago. Noisy. Let's go listen to it.
Yep.
I don't know if you can hear that. Do it one more time. Yeah, it's noisy. And I don't often do this, or anybody here doesn't often do this, but by the first looks of this, I would say that this is a warranty situation, and it's probably our fault. It doesn't look to me like this hose was replaced. Now, maybe the customer declined it, and I'll have to check that, but I would think, if you look at this hose, this is the oil feed hose on here, and it looks old. We'll check to make sure our invoice that it was replaced when we replaced the turbo 12,000 miles ago, but it looks like it's kind of old and it didn't get replaced. I won't put that back on the manufacturer. If we advise the customer and he declined it, then the turbo won't be warranted. If we failed to advise the customer and we just dropped the ball, I'm going to eat the whole thing, including labor and a new turbo, because I won't go back to the manufacturer and shove it on them, because that's a requirement. They want those oil feed lines replaced for this particular reason. Restricted flow to the turbo causes that shaft, the bearings to go out. What you're hearing in that whine is the vanes of the turbo. We'll take it off and show you, but the vanes of the turbo are hitting the housing. So I might be in a turbo here, but I'll make sure that my team kind of understands the importance of replacing that line. That's how you learn, man. You make mistakes and you keep going. I'm telling you right now, shop owners, mechanics, any trade you're in, you're going to make a lot of mistakes before you get to a level where you really feel like you're learning. But that's how it works, man. Learn from your mistakes. I was looking at this hose and I didn't think it had been replaced, but I pulled the old invoice on it and it was replaced. You already got an okay on that, so let's get that turbo off, and then I want to get a video, I want to show how that's hitting the vanes and all that stuff.
Yes, sir.
Show what that looks like and all that.
Okay.
Alright. There we can see closer the amount of play it has. We can also see right there, that's from this compressor wheel rubbing on the housing, and that's what our loud noise was. That's what created that big shrieking noise.
1 week later.
Alright, so we sent that turbo off to the manufacturer to see what their thoughts were on why it went bad. And they sent us a whole bunch of pictures of the compressor wheel, the little fan blade looking thing, all chewed up, so it looks like something came out of this motor. It's got the exhaust manifold off. Gonna look in there with a bore scope and see if we can figure out what happened on this motor, what went through that turbo. Just starting here on the manifold, seeing if there's marks in anything to give us an indication of what cylinder it might have come out of, but I'm not seeing anything in it gives me any worries. Nothing anywhere. Number 3 looks a little funny. There's a whole bunch of speckling right there. I don't know if, I mean, they all kind of got it actually. That may not be anything. Well, I'm gonna grab a bore scope and we'll start going in that way, see what we see. Okay. Start here. Let's see. See any signs in any of these? Start with the valves first. If something went through this motor, the valve is likely to have a mark on it. Everything looks great there. There's a funky shiny spot right there on this front intake or front exhaust valve on number 2. So I definitely want to look down in that hole on that one. The rear exhaust valve looks great.
Ken,
Yes, sir.
what are you finding out?
The manufacturer tore it down and showed stuff.
Yeah, I saw the, it was fleece, wasn't it?
Yes, yes, sir. So the only thing I'm seeing so far is
Number 2 cylinder?
number 2, the front exhaust valve. You see how it's got those markings?
Is that, are you sure that's not your bore scope that you touched it?
It had them when I first put it in.
Did it? Okay, okay.
So yeah, the top
So
one I don't remember.
can we open, let's open that valve and past that bore scope. Let's go past the seat and let's go into the cylinder. So you want me to bump the starter while you just kind of look at it there like that?
Let me check 5 and 6 really quick, see if we got anything, and then yeah, that'll work. Let me just see if there's anything obvious. Kind of get a big
Here,
picture.
let me hold that for you. That one looks pretty dang okie dokie. Okay,
Yep.
go to the, that was 5.
Yep, so that was the rear one on number 5.
Okay, there it is.
What is that on the bottom of the valve? Right there. Oh, it just looks like a piece of the soot that was on it came off.
Talking about this little shiny thing right here.
That's what it looks like. Is I'm just gonna look at these last 2 valves.
That one's closed. I don't see anything.
Okay. Let's see. There we go. Okay. That should be our last one. There we go. Yeah, same thing there.
Yeah.
So let me.
I don't see anything.
Okay, I'll grab that smaller bore scope. We can go into number 5 and check number 2.
Yeah. Yeah, let's grab the smaller one.
Okay.
Okay. So there's the top of that piston, and I don't see any marks on it. Hang on, let's go. Can you go just a little more? Stop. I don't see any dimple marks for like a bolt or a nutter, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If a nut would have rolled around in there, you'd see all kinds of, pitting and pieces. So that piston's clean.
And you can still see how good the cross hatching is
Yeah.
on the cylinder wall, so that tells us that's good. Okay.
Yeah, I don't see any nicks on that wall.
Yeah.
Okay, let's pull it back out of there. Okay, just bump it. Again. Again. It's just now started to open. Keep going. Oh, now I'm liking it. Hang on, just stop there.
Okay.
Let's see if we can get down past it. There's your valve.
Oh yeah, there we go.
There you go. Now you're in the cylinder. Keep going. Feed it down there, and then I'll twist it around.
From what I've seen.
There it goes. Okay, keep going. Can you feed it down in there more and just give me some more?
Yeah, it's a little tight on this one.
You want to bump it just one more and see if we can get it open up a little bit more?
Yeah, I'll just barely tap it.
Oh, that was it.
Okay.
Keep going.
There it goes.
There we go. Now we're in the, okay, finally.
Okay.
There's the injector. You can see where the injector's been spraying. Keep going down a little more. Okay, stop. There's the edge of the piston. There's the edge of the cylinder wall. And if a nut would have gone through there, you'd see banging all over the place. Yeah, we ain't got nothing there. This is all a good sign. Okay, let's back it out.
Okay.
I don't see anything. Let's get the turbo put on it.
Okay.
And we can't fire it up because we're gonna have oil everywhere because the turbo.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we could fire it up and not have any. We plugged off that turbo feed, put a plug in that.
Yeah.
We could fire it up and just watch each cylinder. Be louder than mother, but it'll run.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I'm almost tempted to do that to make sure every cylinder's, I got good flame coming out of every cylinder. Is that the only, that off the oil filter housing, is that the only plug?
Yeah, that one, and then there's the drain, but the little plastic cap on it will be just fine.
Yeah, because there's nothing draining into it, so
yeah.
what do we care? let's see if we can get a plug in that fitting.
Okay.
And even if it leaks, just if it seeps, just something so I don't care about a little bit of a leak.
Okay.
But just so it's not spraying everywhere. And then let's just push it out front and fire it up.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Okay.
Find a plug that'll work.
Yeah, I actually took the old turbo line, cut it, and tapped it.
That'll work.
Yep.
All right.
Okay.
Let's do this, dude.
Okay. I'll stay over. I'll go over to the truck and start it. And if you need me to shut it off, what do you want to be the hand sign since I won't be able to hear you?
No. I'll just step to the side like this.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll watch for you then.
Okay.
Are you ready? Okay.
Yep. A piece of cardboard about that big.
Okay, I'll grab one.
Come on, leave it running. That's perfect. The little one's perfect. Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
All the cylinders are hitting. I thought there'd be more flame out of there. But let's put the manifold on it. I got, maybe somebody worked on it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't see any evidence, but anyway, let's get it together and we're done. You can start up and drive back in, dude.
Okay.
I don't know what to say. The manufacturer under the warranty is disclaiming the warranty on the turbo because the turbine has visual damage to it.
Mm-hmm.
I can find nothing on the motor that says something went through on the exhaust side. It certainly is running great. Mm-hmm. So at this point, we'll make a note on the ticket and put a turbo on it and ship it. But sometimes the mysteries don't get solved. I'm clueless because the pictures that they sent us back on that turbo show that something catastrophic went by that turbine blade. So let's get a new turbo on it, see how it runs. We got no check engine lights or anything like that on it, so yeah.
Yeah, we're
okay.
all good. Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
3 days later.
All right, got this turbo in, and everything, as you can see, seems to be running good. Not hearing any noises, no leaks, nothing. So far it's a giant mystery. I'm gonna go drive it and see if there's any clues or any issues as to what happened. All right, so far, just idling along. Everything's been great, but now it's gonna be the real test as we get out on the road. Okay, everything's looking good out in the tailpipe. It's got me and everyone else at the shop I've talked to about just really stumped. If something did come apart in that motor, we would see signs of it. All the soot and everything, it's like walking through baby powder. You can't go walking through it or touch it or anything without leaving a mark or a print. And there was no print or sign of anything anywhere. In the head, the valves, the cylinder, even the exhaust manifold. It's also kind of crazy how we started with thinking it was just a failed bearing because the turbo feed line was probably restricted. And then it's turned into something totally different. And we couldn't see the failed parts of the blade on the turbo because that was actually back behind the housing where we couldn't see. So it's kind of crazy how it was just back there, nothing we could see without taking it apart. Okay, here's a real test. We'll give it some juice. Yeah, everything's still looking good out in the tailpipe. That turbo just sounds great. I can hear it whistling. We got good boost, good power, good throttle response. I don't know. Yeah, it's running great.
A few minutes later.
It's just kind of a freak, you know, the way that turbine was looking, all beat up to heck. Let's go ahead and start it. It ran fine the other day, but I want to make sure that we don't have any blow-by or anything like that.
Okay.
And then we'll just note it on the ticket and tell the guy, you know, don't know what happened to you here, buddy, but, you know, I can't find anything else wrong. Go ahead and start up. Let me see it. Nothing, which is excellent. Sounds good. Rev it up a little bit. Took it on a nice test drive?
Yep.
Runs good, huh?
It
good
runs,
power and everything?
Yeah, it runs perfect.
All right. The manufacturer's the one that sent us the pictures on that turbo, and I'm believing them, but I can't find out where this, you know, whatever went through this motor. It's a mystery, dude. And I'm never going to solve it. I'm just glad the guy's good and ready to go.
Yep.
Thanks, man.